Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2019 mid-month general readings. My background has changed once again. I am off traveling back in Eastern Europe. The lighting's a bit strange. I always stay in a variety of Airbnbs or things like that around here, and sometimes they're a bit hit and miss, and the lighting is a bit dim here today, but we'll just kind of have to power through it. So welcome everyone. I appreciate everyone taking the time to tune in today, and for all your likes, shares, and subscribes as well. Welcome to any newcomers, and welcome back to our regular followers and subscribers. This reading this reading is for the water sign of Scorpio. I wanted to check and make sure I got the name right. Yes, this is for the water sign of Scorpio for the last half of October, the last couple of weeks of October 2019. As many of you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone, so watch your rising and moon sign videos as well for additional clarification or more predictive reading. Sometimes it can vary from month to month. If any of you are interested in reaching out to me for a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the description link below. You can feel free to email me at maggie@gmail.com. You can get that info by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the About button as well. I offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I can usually respond to your initial inquiry with more info the same day you write or the first 24 hours. And scheduling I do in a pretty timely fashion too. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with everyone's schedules to get you in mind, to get you readings set up as quickly as we can. So email me if you're interested. I would love to set something up and work with you. All right, let's move right into this reading. Scorpio. Our lovely Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio. We begin. I'm also, by the way, using the Gilded Tarot by artist Cyril Marchetti. We begin with the Two of Wands. Which way to go? Followed by the World. We have the Hanging Man, followed by the Page of Swords. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, Scorpio, is often about somebody bringing you information or you're kind of going here and there to get more information, doing research, trying to find out the facts, the truth, or somebody kind of coming in to do that, moving at a pretty quick speed, because knights usually represent the speed at which a situation moves. They often represent rapid movement, offers and opportunities for change. Swords is air energy. That's the element which governs this suit, and it's often mental, cerebral energy about our thoughts, perspectives, words, ideas. It's about information and enlightenment as well. The Knight of Swords kind of comes in, delivers the information, and goes out again. So it could be for some of you that someone has come in and you have somehow you have discovered some information about something or are getting information about something. For some of you, it might be you the one delivering information about something, but I really feel like some of you may be in a bit of an ethical or moral dilemma and wondering what to do about information that you have. Perhaps it's something you heard, something you read, something you saw, etc. And you're wondering what the best way to deal with it is. Do I do something? Do I say something? Do I take some kind of action? And I mean, this is a general reading. There's many of you watching, so this could be, a million different things. I mean, it could be, seeing one of your friends, husband or wife or partner, with somebody else. It could be seeing something unethical or something at work, or, something that for some, and because it's a general reading, the intensity and of course area of your life might resonate. It might be in a personal relationship, it might be at work and career, it might be something else. But I feel like you've discovered something or are in the process of discovering something and not knowing what to do with it or how to bring something to an end. Now, it might not be about an ethical situation. but you've gotten information about something and you're wondering what to do to bring it to the most successful conclusion. So if it's not like an immoral, unethical something that you saw somebody doing obviously something blatantly wrong, I feel like you have gotten information that could make a difference in a situation maybe that's not so great, but you're wondering if because I get the sense that you're in an ethical or moral dilemma with what to do with the information. Is this the right thing to do? Should I say something? Should I do this? Should I take action based on what I know, etc.? We have the Two of Wands in the world. So the Two of Wands represents being at a crossroads and trying to figure out what to do, which path to choose, which way to go. Often the key to making a successful choice with the Two of Wands is to take a look at what your long-term goals are or what your motives are. Okay, what's the long-term goal here? I mean, we have the world that accompanies it, which is coming to a successful completion and achievement of something and preparing for the next stage of a journey or preparing for a new journey. So it's about what way to take to bring something perhaps to a successful conclusion so that you can move on to it, or maybe helping somebody else to do that. What is my long-term goal here? You know, if this is about an ethical or moral situation, like, do I take information that I have because I can use this to stop this? You know, is it ethical for me to do so? Well, what's my long-term goal? It's to bring something to a successful conclusion so that you can move on from it, regardless of the details and specifics. If that's your long-term goal, if that's your motives, that it's not like vindictive motives, because then that just generates more uneven energy and karma, which we don't want to do. So it's about, what do I do with this information? And I feel like the last half of October is kind of spent in this sort of contemplation, because we also have towards the last week or so the Hanging Man accompanied by the Page of Swords. Now the Page of Swords, pages are young people, apprentice students. They can represent messages and messengers. So the Page of Swords would be a messenger of information too, maybe just passing information back and forth. The Knight actually delivers the information, or maybe comes up with the information. The Page is the one that kind of like runs one message to another, takes information that's been given to him, maybe by a knight, and delivers it somewhere else. So it could be, do I take this information or knowledge that I have to somewhere else for a certain reason? The pages also represent individuals who have gathered information, done research, homework, and they're now at the beginning of actually going out into the real world with this. But the Page of Swords can sometimes also represent being in a bit of an ethical or moral dilemma where you want to do the right thing, but you're not sure what the right thing is here, you know, again, in a sort of an ethical way. And the Hanging Man can represent basically that, hanging back, but I'm also feeling a bit of advice from Spirit, and this is a major arcana card as well. The Hanging Man, sorry about that, something popped up on my screen. The Hanging Man can represents not taking action for a short transitional period of time, because he understands that he may not have all the information, things are still playing out, so he's taking a position, albeit somewhat uncomfortable, while he's watching to see how things are playing out. It can represent a small sacrifice that represents a bigger gain later on. So even though he may sometimes be tempted to run in and rush or maneuver or manipulate or take this information over here, for the time being he's hanging back because he feels like he doesn't know everything yet. Things are still playing out. So while it's a bit uncomfortable, it could actually create a more healthy, positive outcome in this later on. And you can also gain a different perspective while you're doing that, because while you're waiting to see how things play out, you may be getting more information and gaining a different perspective on it. With this information, I feel like information's been brought to you somehow, or maybe somebody told you something. What do I do with this? I feel more like Spirit is saying the last half of October, I wouldn't do anything with the information just yet, because I feel like things are still playing out. Let's see, what is this information about? What is this about? It's about the Five of Wands, which is conflict, competition, conflict, petty drama, office politics, rumors, gossip, rumor mongering, conflict within a group of people. It's relatively petty in that it's a 5 and 10s are completion. Nobody's out to kill each other here. They're sparring with each other, but nobody's willing to kind of elevate or step back. So it's just this circular sort of endless, nobody winning, nobody losing, no clear solution. So conflict of some kind, but it feels like you've gotten information about this or you've heard something, you're not sure what to do with it. I think for the time being you shouldn't do anything with it. Or at least not act on it just yet. Let's pull one guidance and advice card for you on this, Scorpio. The Hierophant advice. The Hierophant is about due process, basically, convention, tradition, walking on the sidewalk, following the process. So for instance, if this is something legal or something at work, there's probably some process set in place to follow in situations like this, which this could represent you're following the process, whatever rules are set up for this situation, whatever it is. It could be different for everybody. Then you need to follow that process. The Hierophant can also represent going to a higher authority as well. Somebody much more established for either part of the due process here, or going to somebody who is like the Hierophant to seek out more wisdom and guidance, going to a higher sort of authority or somebody with a lot more experience, wisdom, maybe age, etc. So that's your advice, and I think it's pretty wise, sage advice too, because I think the only action you should take right now is start going through a process or going to a higher authority, whether it's part of the process or just to seek out some feedback and guidance from this, because it feels like you're just not sure. And I think you personally acting on this information, Spirit is encouraging you not to do right now, except maybe to take it again to a higher trusted authority. So Scorpio, that pretty much wraps up your very interesting reading for the remainder of October 2019. I hope that you found it helpful. Feels like a bit of a dicey situation here. If this reading resonated for you, and if you would like to have a more personal one-on-one reading with me, again, you can click on the description link below for more info. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to set up a reading with you. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the November 2019 general readings. Until then, as always, I wish you every good thing, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.